day. It's you I live for every day. I'll follow after you every day. I'll walk with you, my Lord. It's you I live for every day.
Good evening. In our Connect groups, we're going to be talking about a passage out of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24, where we're told to consider how to stimulate one another to love and good works. Some of the translations may say stir up or motivate, but the bottom line is that we need to consider how we can motivate others to do good things. To me, there's a couple of obvious answers to how we can go about this, and I want to bounce those off of you this evening. Perhaps you can use those as a part of your discussion later on. Number one, how can we motivate other people to love and to good works? Well, we can do so by listening to Jesus and what He taught in the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5. Remember, He'll tell us, you're the salt of the earth, and also you're the light of the world. And as the light of the world, He'll say, you're like a city set on a hill, which cannot be hid. Men don't light a lamp and put it under a bushel. They set it on the stand so that everybody can see it. Even so, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. One of the things that ought to motivate us toward love and good works is the fact that Jesus says this is a way that you can glorify God when you do these things. Another example of Jesus' teaching on this is found in Luke chapter 10 in what we call the parable of the Good Samaritan. Now, the parable of the Good Samaritan is about who is my neighbor, and it's also about showing mercy. But bottom line, it's very much about, I think, stimulating us to love and good works, to doing good things. There is no telling how many millions of tires have been changed for people by the side of the road, how many cars have had their engines started, been jumped to get them going, how many hitchhikers have been picked up and taken somewhere because of that very parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan, which I believe is designed to motivate us to love and good works. What's Jesus saying? When you see somebody who needs some help, what do you need to do? You need to help them. And so I think listening to Jesus and listening to His teaching is a very important motivator in moving us toward love and good works. But secondly, I believe that another very strong motivator is our own example and our encouraging others to stand alongside us and work with us. Let me give you a couple of examples. If I come to you and I say, hey, listen, Billy and Glenda are having a really hard time. Billy's lost his job, you know that. Glenda's been sick, and this week she had to go to the dentist, and it cost a small fortune, and they don't have any money for groceries. I've been going around and talking to a few people, and you know, they've handed me a 20 here and a 20 there. I'm going to kick in 20. Could you help? Well, now probably what are you going to say? Sure. I mean, if you can help, you will. Why? Well, because you're given the opportunity to help. You're being made aware of it. But also, several are getting involved, and you'd like to get involved too. And so there's an encouragement, there's a motivation toward love and good works if we see other people involved in that. But I believe that we need to lead in that. Similar kind of thing. Somebody comes to me and they say, hey, Dan, you know, Jeannie lost her husband 3 years ago, and she hadn't been well, and her yard's kind of getting away from her. Several of us are going to go over on Saturday morning, and we're going to do her lawn work for her. Could you come over early and help us out? If there's any way in the world, sure I will. Now, why? Well, because I've been made aware of it, other people are involved in it, and so I want to participate. I believe one of the most powerful ways that we can stimulate other people to love and good works is for us to actively seek opportunities to serve and then draw in somebody to help us, to go with us. You hear that somebody's in the hospital, and it'd be a good thing for you to go visit them and just kind of pray with them and encourage them. Invite somebody to go with you. What a good thing. They get to share in it. A couple of people come by and you get to encourage this person who's ill. I really do believe that one of the most effective ways that we can stimulate one another to love and good works is for us to be involved and actively seek to get others involved. And so as you discuss this evening, keep in mind these two ideas. Number one, let's listen to Jesus and His teaching and what He says about how important it is for us to serve others and to love others and to get involved in good works. And secondly, think about ways in which you can actively involve others in love and good works. In the process of that, God gets glorified, people get helped, and a lot of good things happen. Have a great discussion. God bless.
Love one another. Serve